Now, breaking news from your hometown news leader, WDBJ-7.
Terrorism in Roanoke County?
For us, the county police, this is an unusual case.
The FBI is now investigating whether this man was inspired by ISIS when he allegedly stabbed 2 people. Neighbors and former classmates are stunned.
I mean, it's scary to think that that connection could be made.
And, it's crazy to think that, it hits so close to home.
Good evening, I'm Jean Jadhun. Tonight, WDBJ-7 has team coverage of this story that is making national headlines. We begin with WDBJ-7's Joe DeShiel, who is live at the Roanoke County Public Safety Building with new information tonight. Joe.
Well, Jean, since our 5 p.m. newscast, we've learned more about what might have motivated the suspect in this case. We have confirmed that a search warrant affidavit includes Wasil Faruqi's statement to a detective at the hospital on Saturday night. He told the detective he left the house to clear his head, taking a butcher knife from the kitchen. He parked at the apartments where he heard voices saying he was sick, or stupid actually, and should attack someone. And he said he saw 2 people leave the pool. He told the detective he didn't know who they were or why he attacked them.
I believe they'd been at the pool and were just simply walking back into their apartment building. They didn't realize the guy was there until the attack began.
It was shortly before 8 on a quiet Saturday night. Assistant Chief of Police Chuck Mason says the man and woman were cut and stabbed repeatedly by someone they didn't know.
It appears to be entirely random as far as these folks being selected. We're not aware of any connection whatsoever.
Bree Durham has lived at the Pines for 6 years. Speaking to us off camera, she said she didn't witness the attack, but heard the commotion when police began checking on residents.
I mean, it was very scary for me because we're a tight-knit community over there. Our building in particular, I know all of my neighbors. We've all lived there the same amount of time. We have elderly in our building. So it's scary knowing that something could happen so close to home.
Mason says at this point he does not believe there is a continuing threat.
The investigation is still going on and it'll lead wherever it leads. But right at this moment, we're not aware of anything that would suggest anything else was planned.
Gene, we haven't received an update on the condition today of Taramati Harold and Kari Rezai, but a release from Roanoke County last night said they were recovering well.
Joe, what about this potential connection to terrorism? Anything more on that?
Well, of course, we've heard from Roanoke County that the suspect was yelling Allah Akbar during the attack. We've also heard from CBS News that Wasil Faruqi traveled to Germany and Turkey earlier this year in what might have been an attempt to join ISIS, but for some reason he returned to the United States. Gene, federal agents, we are told, are now scrubbing his communications devices and looking for any mention of this attack on ISIS social media accounts. But again, after looking at that search warrant affidavit, it appears that other issues are at play here as well.
Very good. Joe, thank you for that update. Is it possible the suspect was a lone attacker or perhaps part of a bigger plot? WDBJ-7's Justin Ward spoke with a law enforcement analyst today. He is live tonight at Radford University. Justin, what did you find out?
Gene, Todd Burke is a Radford University professor and former Maryland police officer who is very familiar with investigations. He says this situation doesn't surprise him. What seems like a lone character working on their own could happen anywhere. This time it happened in Roanoke County. Burke says right now is crucial for investigators as they work to see if that is truly the case. Did he work alone? Are there external ties, or is it domestic or terrorism related at all? Those are questions Burke says investigators are working to answer.
Let's assume that it is domestic terrorism. What the police will do, they'll investigate not only this individual, but the individual's friends. They're going to look at social networking and do a full-fledged investigation to find out, is this truly a lone person, or was there some assistance?
Burke says right now is the time for cooperation between people who may have known this man or saw something. And if there is any information to be shared with law enforcement, he says now is the time to share it. Jean?
Justin Ward, thank you. Within the last 20 minutes, we have heard from Wasil Faruqi's lawyer. She says he has no ties with ISIS or any terrorist organization, but would not comment beyond that. The man at the center of all of this appears to call the Roanoke Valley home. According to arrest warrants and neighbors, Faruqi lived with his parents in southwest Roanoke County, not too far from where that stabbing took place. Neighbors and friends say it is all shocking. WDBJ7's Shane Dwyer is live in Roanoke County tonight on Pelham Drive, where the Faruqis live, with how friends are dealing with all of this.
Gene, a neighbor I just spoke with said multiple generations of Faruqis lived in the house behind me and that they were always very nice people. He says he has seen less of the family in the last year, but that they went so far as to send his sick mother a get well card when she wasn't doing too well. We learned today from Roanoke County Schools that Faruqi attended Hidden Valley Middle School from 2006 to 2009, then went on to attend Hidden Valley High School as a member of the class of 2013, but he withdrew in 2012 for unknown reasons. In school, friends say he was a normal guy.
When I met him in middle school and knew him throughout middle school and high school, he was always a nice kid and he was real friendly and everything. And he didn't seem like, socially awkward or anything like that. It's not like he didn't have any friends either. He had a good group of friends and, we always enjoyed hanging around him.
Faruqi had a Facebook page like many other people his age. That classmate you just heard from says he had talked to Faruqi on social media in the past, and it had been a while since he had heard from them. Tonight, he says he went back looking for that Facebook page after all this news broke, and he could not find it, so he believes that it has been deleted. He says he has been able to see Faruqi's younger brother's Facebook page. He did send him a message. He didn't hear back, and he says he has not seen any information posted on that Facebook page about this incident. Gene, we will continue to work on this story, and I will have the latest coming up tonight at 11 on WDBJ7.
Shane, we will see you then. Members of the Islamic community in Roanoke are responding to the allegations against Faruqi. WDBJ7's Amanda Kenny joins us now. Amanda, I understand Faruqi used to pray at the Roanoke Mosque.
Yes, Jean, that's right. But I'm told only a few times, and he hasn't been seen at the mosque in a year. The Masjid An-Nur Islamic Center is speaking out to make sure the community knows the attack does not represent their religion. One of the center's founding board members says he worries acts like this vilify and stereotype the Muslim community. So he decided to talk to us to emphasize that the Muslim faith is peaceful and law-abiding.
The first thing that went through my mind when I saw his name was that, oh my goodness, he's going to be associated with the good work that we do here at this mosque. He's not associated with us, and he does not represent the religion that we teach here.
Rashid said the mosque stands with the Roanoke community in sharing concerns about attacks like this. Rashid invites members of the community to stop by if they have any questions. And Jean, they're also handing out these pamphlets to address Islam's war on terror.
Amanda Kenny, thank you for that. Well, another nice sunny day, but it gets a little bit chilly at night. Can you believe that? Meteorologist Robin Reed has the latest on the pleasant forecast. Robin.
And it's because of the clearing skies at night, Gene, that we get a little bit on the cool side. Not excessive, but 50s to be sure. 84 right now at Bernard's Landing along the North Shore after a high today of 87. A little creep up in the temperatures. Here's what we're thinking we'll see tonight. Generally clear skies, a rather pleasant temperature profile with overnight lows in the 50s and the 60s. A big warm up is headed our way coming up this weekend.
Thank you, Robin. Breaking news in Franklin County where deputies are investigating a bank robbery. Take a look. This is a surveillance picture the sheriff's office sent us 15 minutes ago. Investigators say this man walked into the American National Bank around 4:30 demanding money. This happened in the West Lake area. The sheriff's office says the robber ran away from the bank and there is a large law enforcement presence searching for him. We do have a reporter on scene working to get more details. He served Bedford as a police officer for more than 20 years. Tonight, Brian McAlexander is on the other side of the law. He's preparing to go to prison after being convicted of child pornography charges. WDBJ7's Tim Saunders is live at the Bedford County Courthouse. Tim, you were in court this morning when McAlexander pleaded guilty. Have you learned any more about what led to his charges?
Well, Gene, we learned that McAlexander was busted as part of an undercover investigation. An officer discovered that he was sharing copies of child pornography with other people on the internet. Officers with the Southern Virginia Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force got a warrant and searched McAlexander's home. They found 6 images and video of child pornography on McAlexander's computer. The children depicted in those images were said to be prepubescent. McAlexander resigned from the Bedford Police Department when the investigation got underway last year. Bedford Police Chief Todd Foreman said that his department has cooperated fully with the investigation and McAlexander's prosecution.
We need to make sure that everybody understands that we hold people accountable for their actions while they're working, their actions while they're off duty.
Since McAlexander was a longtime member of law enforcement and his work could be viewed as closely associated with the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office here in Bedford, he was prosecuted by the Virginia Attorney General Mark Herring's office. Gene, McAlexander was sentenced this morning to 5 years in prison. He was actually sentenced to 10 years with 5 suspended. He will only serve a total of 5 after pleading guilty to 1 count of possessing child pornography. A judge has ordered him to report to prison on September the 8th.
Tim Saunders, thank you. As the race for president heats up, a new Roanoke College poll shows the competition may be cooling down a bit here in Virginia. We will break down the numbers with our WDBJ7 senior political analyst after the break.